I have something called dysautonomia or POTS, and it means that I'm on a medication called fludrocortisone that needs to be refrigerated. That makes traveling a little more complicated. And so I am going to tell you how I did it in case you are in the same boat and need to travel with medication that needs to be refrigerated.
Here's a scene you've probably found yourself in at least once, and chances are you did it wrong. You're heading overseas. You pack your insulin into an insulated lunch bag, drop in 2 ice packs straight from the freezer, and zip it up feeling completely prepared, smart, organized, ready. 8 hours and 1 connecting flight later, you land, and the bag is warm. The ice packs are long gone, melted hours ago. Your insulin has been sitting at some unknown temperature for who knows how long, with no way to tell if it's still viable. So you use it anyway, because what else can you do? And here's what almost nobody tells you. Improvised cooling, the lunch bag, the gel packs, and the ice from the hotel bucket aren't good enough. It fails for one reason almost every time. You don't actually know what your medication needs. Because not every temperature-sensitive medication needs the same protection, and not every cooling solution gives you the same thing. So this guide breaks down exactly what you need to travel with refrigerated or heat-sensitive medication safely, whatever you're carrying, and wherever in the world you're headed. Hope you enjoy! Heat protection. Room temperature medications. Many medications that are refrigerated before first use can be kept at room temperature once opened, as long as that temperature stays within a safe range, typically below 77 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on your specific medication. For these medications, you don't need active refrigeration during travel. You need protection from heat, a cooling solution that prevents ambient temperatures from exceeding the safe threshold, even in a hot car, a sunny bag, or a warm climate. This is a fundamentally different challenge from refrigeration, and the solution is fundamentally different too. Active refrigeration, fridge temperature medications. Some medications must be kept refrigerated continuously, either because they haven't been opened yet or because their specific formulation requires consistent cold rather than just heat protection. For these, you need a cooler that actually maintains temperatures between 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit, not just prevents overheating. A basic insulated pouch with an ice pack will not do this reliably. A medical-grade refrigerated travel case will. The question to ask before packing any medication: does my medication need to stay at fridge temperature, 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit? Or does it just need to be protected from heat, kept below 77 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit? The answer determines which medical cooler you need. Everything else follows. Choosing the right travel cooler for your medication. For heat protection, room temperature medications. When your medication simply needs to stay below 77 degrees Fahrenheit or 86 degrees Fahrenheit, you need insulation against ambient heat, not active cooling to fridge temperatures. Evaporative cooling pouches are the most practical option to keep your medication cool. They use water evaporation to maintain safe temperatures for 45+ hours without electricity, ice, or freezer packs. Compact enough to carry daily, they're the solution I use for my in-use insulin on any warm weather trip. The chillers would be a very good option because it is an evaporative pouch specifically designed for medications. It is not a standard insulated food bag. Insulated cases with biogel packs are a good alternative too. The key advantage of medical-grade biogel over standard ice packs is the freeze temperature. Good biogel freezes above 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius, which means even direct contact won't risk freezing your medication. For example, the Rambler, or the Rambler Pro, uses this technology, as do several other medical-grade options we offer. One thing we need to be clear about is that these solutions protect from heat. They cannot maintain fridge temperatures. If your medication needs true refrigeration, you need a different product entirely. And that's what we will get into now. How to store your meds that need to be stored at refrigerating temperature. When your medication must stay refrigerated between 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit while traveling, You need a cooler specifically engineered to maintain refrigeration. Not a lunch bag, not an insulated pouch, but an actual mini refrigerator designed for medications. There are two main categories: freeze pack powered medical coolers. No electricity required. These use medical-grade biogel packs that are pre-frozen before travel and maintain true fridge temperatures for 26 to 32 hours. The best ones hold 2 to 5 injection pens. They're the most practical option for most trips where power access isn't guaranteed. For all families Nomad is the one we recommend most often. But the key specification to look for in any product is verified fridge temperature performance, not just keeps cool. USB-powered portable medical refrigerators. Plug into a power bank, car adapter, portable solar panel, or laptop. Maintain refrigeration indefinitely when connected, and switch to freeze pack mode as backup. The best models include a temperature display, so you can monitor conditions without opening the case, which is genuinely useful for managing medication safety on long trips. The four All-Family Pioneer Pro, Voyager, and Big Nomad Pro all do this. If you're comparing products on the market, look specifically for verified temperature range of 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, not just products that say, keeps cold. Biogel packs that freeze above 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius, to prevent accidental medication freezing. TSA carry-on approved. Coolers that can last for the entire duration that covers your door-to-door journey, including layovers. Flying with refrigerated medications. This is where most people's anxiety lives, and it's almost always less complicated than expected. The non-negotiable. Take your meds with you on the carry-on only. Never put them in the checked luggage. Cargo holds can swing between freezing temperatures at altitude and dangerously warm temperatures during ground delays. Your medication travels with you in the cabin. At TSA airport security checkpoints, all medically necessary medications are exempt from standard liquid limits. TSA explicitly permits medical cooling cases and gel ice packs in carry-on luggage. Declare your medication and cooling case proactively at the checkpoint. Something simple like, I have prescription medication in a medical cooling case. It's medically necessary. Partially melted gel packs are fine. TSA officers may go through their usual pat-down search, but they should not open sealed medication packages. You will need a doctor's letter. It is not required for domestic U.S. flights, but is strongly recommended for international flights. Keeping your meds cool on the plane. Keep your cooling case under the seat in front of you, not in the overhead locker. Overhead compartments can be significantly warmer than the cabin. Temperatures fluctuate more during the flight, and your medication needs to be within arm's reach, not requiring you to stand up and reach overhead every time you want to check it or use it. Do not count on the plane's fridge. Most commercial aircraft do not have passenger-accessible refrigerators, and flight attendants are generally not able to store personal medication in galley cooling units for liability reasons. A small number of airlines will accommodate refrigeration requests on long-haul flights if arranged well in advance, but this is the exception, not the rule, and it is never something to rely on. Your medication's cold chain is your responsibility from door to door. USB power on the plane. Many modern aircraft now offer USB charging ports at seats, particularly in premium cabins and on newer aircraft. If you're using a USB-powered medical cooler, this can extend your cooling duration significantly on a long-haul flight. However, USB availability varies by aircraft, airline, and seat class, and ports sometimes malfunction or deliver insufficient power for medical devices. Always bring a fully charged power bank as a backup. Never plan your cold chain around in-seat USB power alone. Cabin temperature. Aircraft cabins are typically kept between 64 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, well within the safe range for most in-use medications that need heat protection rather than refrigeration. In practice, this means a well-insulated cooling case under your seat will perform significantly better in the cabin than it would in hot outdoor conditions. If your cooling case was fully functioning at departure and the flight was within its rated duration, you should be fine for most journeys. On very long flights, 10 hours or more. For long-haul routes where your cooling duration might be a concern, consider a cooler with the longest possible runtime or a USB cooler paired with a high-capacity power bank. Check the battery capacity of your power bank against the cooler's power consumption before you fly, and coordinate with the specific airline before your departure to make sure you can use the power bank on your flight. A few words on road trips and temperature-sensitive medications. Road trips introduce a specific and underappreciated risk: the parked car. On an 85-degree Fahrenheit day, the interior of a parked car can reach 120 degrees Fahrenheit within 30 minutes. This temperature will destroy insulin, biologics, and GLP-1 medications within an hour, often without any visible change to the pen or vial. Never leave temperature-sensitive medications in a parked car. Not for 5 minutes, not in the shade. Take your medication with you every time you leave the vehicle. While the car is moving, keep your cooling case in the cabin, not the trunk. The trunk is significantly hotter than the cabin in summer, particularly in direct sun. If you have passengers, the back seat with the AC running is fine. The trunk is not. For longer road trips, consider a USB-powered medical cooler. You can plug it into your car cigarette lighter. For multi-day driving trips with refrigerated medications, plan your overnight stops around fridge access. Know in advance whether your hotel room has a mini fridge and have a backup plan if it doesn't, or if the hotel fridge turns out to be unreliable. The hotel mini fridge problem nobody talks about. Hotel mini fridges are not calibrated for medication storage. They're calibrated to keep drinks cold, which means they often run colder than 36 degrees Fahrenheit, 2 degrees Celsius. Sometimes significantly colder. Medication placed near the back wall of a hotel mini fridge or in a small fridge-freezer combination can freeze. Frozen insulin, frozen Humira, and frozen tirzepatide are all permanently ruined. On a trip to Vietnam, I placed my insulin in the hotel mini fridge without checking the temperature. The next morning, the pen near the back of the shelf had ice crystals on the outside. I had to discard it. Before putting any medication in a hotel fridge, check the temperature with a small thermometer. They cost almost nothing and are worth carrying specifically for this purpose. Keep medication on a middle shelf, away from the back wall and any freezer compartment. If the fridge is a mini-bar style unit without a temperature setting, be especially cautious. These often run very cold. If a hotel can't provide a suitable fridge, your medical-grade cooling case is more reliable than the alternative. Before you leave, the pre-trip temperature checklist. Know your medication's specific temperature requirement, heat protection, or active refrigeration. Know your medication's room temperature window and how long your trip is. Choose the right medical travel cooler for your medication and trip length. Biogel packs prepared the night before departure, if applicable to your cooler. Battery fully charged for your USB-powered cooler and for your electronic devices, like your phone. Pack a small thermometer to verify the hotel fridge temperature on arrival. Medications should be transferred to the cooler right before departure, not the night before. All medications in carry-on. Nothing temperature sensitive in checked luggage. Original packaging with pharmacy labels visible. Doctor's letter and prescription copies for international travel. Backup supply calculated and packed. What to do if your medication gets too warm while traveling? This is the question nobody wants to answer, but everyone needs to know. If you suspect heat exposure but are unsure, check the medication visually. Most biologics and injectables should be clear and colorless. Cloudiness, particles, discoloration, or any change from the normal appearance means discard and replace. If the medication looks normal but you know it was warm, this is the hardest situation because biologics and injectables can degrade without any visible change. Contact your pharmacist or prescriber if you have any doubt about whether a medication has been compromised. When in doubt, replace it. The cost of a compromised dose of treatment is never worth the cost of a replacement pen. Practical steps. Contact your pharmacist for guidance specific to your medication. Contact the manufacturer's patient support line. Most have guidance for heat excursion situations. Use your travel insurance to cover replacement costs where applicable. If you've been using compromised medication without knowing, Unexplained lack of medication efficacy, blood sugar not coming down with insulin, for instance, is one of the most reliable signals that your medication was compromised somewhere in the journey. Switch to a fresh pen and monitor whether effectiveness returns. Additional tips for keeping your medication cool on the go. Keep your cooling case out of direct sunlight at all times. This applies on the beach, at outdoor restaurants, on the backseat of a car with full sun through the window, and at any outdoor activity. Even a well-insulated case will struggle against sustained direct sunlight. Use a thermometer. I keep a small digital thermometer in my medication bag on every trip. It's one of the most practical things I own for travel. It removes all guesswork about whether my cooler is working, whether the hotel fridge is safe, and whether the temperature in my bag is acceptable. Pack extra cooling elements. Delays happen, flights get extended, connections get missed. Having an extra gel pack or a backup USB charging cable for your powered cooler costs almost nothing and can save everything if your primary cooling runs out unexpectedly. Never improvise. A lunch bag with an ice pack is not equivalent to a medical cooling case, and the consequences of that difference are not worth discovering. This was my lesson from that first international trip, and it took 1 week of chaotic blood sugars to learn it properly. Tell someone. If you're traveling with medication that would cause a genuine medical emergency if compromised, insulin in particular, make sure at least one person traveling with you knows where your medication is, what it's for, and what to do if something goes wrong. And that's a wrap. The takeaway is simple. Figure out whether your medication needs true refrigeration or just protection from heat. Pick the right cooler for the job and keep that cold chain unbroken from your front door to your final destination. Get that right, and traveling with your meds becomes one less thing to stress about. If this helped, hit subscribe for more tips on traveling smart with temperature-sensitive medications that you can find linked in the description of this video. Safe travels, and stay cool and limitless.